Hello everyone, it's Enigma here, and today we only have 3 more days left until Nintendo's E3 2019 Nintendo Direct. I'm so excited, we only have 3 days left. But today, we're going to be talking about a game that's probably going to be one of the most exciting games of this year from Nintendo, and that is Super Mario Maker 2. Now, this game is going to be a huge game because Super Mario Maker 1 sold really well on the Wii U, and it came really late in the Wii U's lifetime, and that says a lot, seeing how the Wii U was just not a success at all. But I think the Switch version of Super Mario Maker 2 will be one of the best-selling games on the system, and I do believe that we will be getting another certain game style in this game that we could use to create our levels, and that game is Super Mario Bros. 2. Now, I have talked about, Super Mario Bros. 2 a lot on this channel in regards to Super Mario Maker 2, and I think that this game style is perfect for a game style in Super Mario Maker 2. It just makes a whole lot of sense, and there's a lot of things that you could do that could make it work in a game style. A lot of people question how this could work, since Mario Bros. 2 is very different from, the other Mario games, but then again, you have 3D World, which is also mechanically different, and it works pretty fine, and I think extra game styles are going to be going to game styles that play very differently from the other game styles. So because of that, I think there's going to be a lot of differences with this game style compared to the other game styles. I didn't list every single thing. I only listed items, enemies, and bosses. I know I didn't include things like blocks or themes and like backgrounds and stuff like that. That's because that's pretty self-explanatory, because, I'm pretty sure those are the things that they're gonna borrow from other levels. And if they didn't exist from Mario Bros. 2, they're gonna make, new backgrounds like they did for the first Mario Bros. With like the ghost house and the jungle theme. They're probably gonna do that with Mario Bros. 2 as well. So that's why I didn't really go in depth with that. But the thing we're going to be talking about is miscellaneous. I only have one miscellaneous thing that could be different from the other game styles, and that is Peach will be playable in this game theme and not Toadette. So in Mario Bros. 2, you had 4 playable characters, just the amount of characters that you have in this game. You had Mario, Luigi, Toad, and Peach. However, Toadette did not exist yet in Mario Bros. 2, and instead Toadette is playable in Mario Maker 2. So that means that Peach would be left out in this game. I think that they should have Peach be playable and, Toadette exclusive to the other game styles. I think this would make a whole lot of sense, since Peach is the only one that's missing from the original quartet, I guess you could say. So I think she should be playable instead, especially since there's no super mushrooms in this game. So I think they could have Peach, kind of fill in as Toadette. I mean, Peachette is a thing. I mean, I'm pretty sure Nintendo isn't really against doing that. So, yeah, I think in the Mario Bros. 2 game style, I think Peach will be playable instead of Toadette. Anyways, let's go on to items. I think hearts should be collected instead of super mushrooms. That's because super mushrooms were not in Super Mario Bros. 2, and there were hearts instead, and each heart you can collect, it refills your health. That's how you refill your health in these games, and you have like 5 bars of health, and yeah, you just have a lot of hit points. Yeah, I definitely think that makes a whole lot of sense, because, again, super mushrooms were not in Mario Bros. 2, so I definitely think that this could be incorporated into the Mario Bros. 2 game style. Cherries. Collecting 5 cherries grants you a Starman. Now, I don't know what this could replace. I think this could be a completely brand new item from the ground up. I think I think this could possibly replace the Starman, where if you collect 5 cherries, you earn a Starman from that. So I think it could kind of replace that. This makes a whole lot of sense because that's how you get this one power up in this game. And it definitely makes a whole lot of sense. You can plant vegetables instead of power-ups, because in Mario Bros. 2, there's not even power-ups. The only power-ups that you can get is, like I said, the Starman, but you can only get the Starman if you get 5 cherries in each level. So instead of power-ups, you can plant things into the ground, and when you pick up an item, you can throw it. That's definitely what I think they will do with, power-ups. They will just replace power-ups completely, and you are able to bury items into the ground and just place them wherever. I definitely think that makes a whole lot of sense, and yeah, I mean, vegetables are kind of like the power-ups of Mario Bros. 2 in a way, so I definitely think this will be the replacement for those. I think we should have a rocket instead of warp pipes, because warp pipes are not in Mario Bros. 2. So I think that, a rocket would make sense to go from one place to another. But the only difference is that rockets go up instead of warp pipes that go down. So I don't know if these will replace warp pipes, maybe, but this is just an idea. I'm not exactly sure. I think the stopwatch would be really cool in this game. Like, if you can stop time, I think that'd be really cool. I mean, we did have the moon mechanic where I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't one mechanic about where you can stop time or something? I don't know. I might be overthinking that. I don't know. I don't remember that. But yeah, I think a stopwatch would be really cool to place in a level, and then you can stop time. That would be really cool. So yeah, anyways, the next item is the mushroom block. Basically, mushroom blocks are different from other blocks that you can get in, the other Mario games, because in Mario Bros. 2, upon picking up a mushroom block that's behind you, you can kind of move the block, and then it can kind of be like that one item that you can use to create all sorts of puzzles, and I think it would be a lot of fun to incorporate this into the Mario Bros. 2 game style, and I would definitely like to see this in, the Mario Bros. 2 game style. I definitely could see it work. Anyways, next up is enemies, and here I said Shy Guys instead of Koopas. I mean, Goombas, that's what I meant to say. Shy Guys instead of Goombas, and it has a sniff it variation. So if you shake this, or whatever you, oh yeah, upon clicking it, and then you have an option, you can choose from a Shy Guy to a sniff it. So yeah, Goombas are not even in Super Mario Bros. 2. Instead, they are Shy Guys, and I would definitely like to see a Shy Guy in Mario Maker 2, where we can play Shy Guys. I definitely think that'd be really cool to incorporate, and it can have a sniff it variation. I definitely think that would be really cool to incorporate into this game style. Tweeters instead of Koopa Troopas. They can hop across, the stage, and it would be a lot of fun to see that in action. Pidgeot instead of Lakitu. This makes a whole lot of sense because Pidgeots, fly on those magic carpets, and this could be very similar to Lakitu's, minus the spiny throwing, because if you attack, the Pidgeot, you're able to go on the magic carpet and fly around with that, similar to the Lakitu, where if you bounce on the Lakitu, you can be able to use the Lakitu's cloud to go wherever you want. I definitely think that makes a whole lot of sense to incorporate. I definitely think this would be the replacement for Lakitu in this game style. So yeah. Next, I have Cobras instead of Piranha Plants, because these enemies kind of go, like, up and down, so I definitely think these could be a perfect replacement for Piranha Plants, for sure. Now, this one is kind of confusing, because I don't even know why this enemy is not in all game styles, but here I said Pokies. I think this could be a replace. I don't really know what this enemy could replace, but I'm surprised this enemy is not in other game styles, especially since it is in other games. So, I'm honestly surprised it's not in the other game styles. I definitely think a Pokey is definitely likely to be an enemy in this game style, and I would not be surprised at all if that's the case. Next up I had Phanto instead of Angry Sun. So if you place down a Phanto, it can kind of follow you. I definitely think this could be the replacement for the Angry Sun. The only problem is that the nighttime theme, it changes into the moon, so I don't know what the Phanto would change into, but yeah, I think the Phanto could replace the Angry Sun. And next up I have Albatross. I don't really know what this enemy could replace, but it's a very iconic enemy from Mario Brothers 2, so I definitely think it would be in this game style at some point. Next up, I have bosses. I only have 3 bosses because, there's only 3 bosses that really stand out from this game that I could definitely see them incorporating into this game. Next, the first boss I have is Birdo instead of Boom Boom. I definitely think this makes a whole lot of sense because Birdo is, she's still, he or she, we're not getting into that argument. He is still relevant to, the Mario games even to this day, and I would definitely love to see Birdo incorporated in a Mario Brothers 2 game style, and she can shoot eggs, and then you can pick up an egg and throw it at her. I definitely think that'd be really cool to see that incorporated into this game style. So yes, I would definitely love to see Birdo in, and I would definitely love to place Birdos all over my levels. Next up, I have Mouser instead of Pom Pom. So Mouser can throw bombs. You can pick up the bombs and then throw it at Mouser. I definitely think this could make a whole lot of sense to be a boss in this game because, again, this is a pretty iconic boss from Super Mario Bros. 2, and I definitely think this could be incorporated into this game style for sure. And the last boss I have, and this is probably the most obvious, King Wart instead of Bowser. So yeah, this game doesn't even have Bowser in this game, which is very surprising. I think King Wart could be the replacement for Bowser since he is the main antagonist from Mario Bros. 2, and I definitely think it makes a whole lot of sense. And because a lot of people really love King Wart, especially since he's only been in one game, a lot of people still really love this guy, and I definitely think that, he could be incorporated as a boss in this game style, and it would be really nice to see him back in a Mario game. I think this game could possibly be the return of King Wart. I think he would be a really cool character to see in this game. But yeah, those are just a rough ideas of what I could expect from a Mario Bros. 2 game style. Again, I know I didn't include other background backdrops or blocks and stuff like that. I know, but I wasn't gonna get into those. I just wanted to talk about some items and enemies and bosses I can see. So yeah. Anyways, what are your Mario Brothers 2 game theme ideas for Super Mario Maker 2? Let me know in the comments down below, and I would love to hear it. Anyways, this has been Enigma, and peace. See you next time.